What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, I'm going to tell you the best TERA raid Pokemon that you should build for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and this is including the Pokemon that were added via Pokemon Home and via the Teal Mass DLC. And of course, guys, if you like this type of content, enjoy these videos, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it, and consider joining the Pan Fam and supporting the channel by hitting that join channel member button below. Now, I just want to say we're going to be breaking down this video in 3 sections: physical attackers, special attackers, and supporters. And I made these Pokemon in relation to both the idea of solo and for online play, and I've had a lot of experience with TERA raiding, from making the guides for 7-star raid and from herba farming in general. And I hope you enjoy these builds, and feel free to post your raid builds in the comment section below. And let's begin with our physical attackers, the king of raiding, and everyone needs to have one of these built. No matter who you are, you're going to need a Ghost TERA Annihilate with Shell Bell. Now, this Pokemon is the ultimate raid Pokemon. It can solo a lot of the raids, pretty much every 5-star, nearly every 6-star, and a lot of 7-star raids too have fallen to Annihilate. And you're gonna go max HP, max attack, Adamant Nature for the general spread. Ability is Defiant. You want this ability 9 out of 10 times. Defiant's awesome. So if the raid boss lowers any of your stats, your attack goes up by 2, and that's massive. So what you really want with Annihilate is Rage Fist, and this attack is crazy. So whether you faint or not, as long as you are taking damage, this attack will go up by 50 damage, right? So if you get hit once, it does 100. You hit twice, it does 150, caps at 300. If you faint, come back, you're still doing 300. This thing is it's just crazy. It's just a crazy move. And the only thing this won't work on is truly normal types, and dark types do resist, but everything else is going to hit by this neutrally, which is crazy. Now, the reason why this Pokemon is also so good is because you have Screech. So you usually just Screech a couple times in the beginning, and then you just win. But you can also just set up a Focus Energy in the beginning too, and then just start hitting off Rage Fist and hope for some critical hits. And if you crit with a Rage Fist at 300 damage, nothing's really surviving this. And you can have fun with the 4th move. I just have Drain Punch, but it doesn't really matter. The other god of raiding is Ursaluna, which is definitely the best ground and normal raider in the game. And we're gonna give it the item Flame Orb with TERA Ground, and max HP, max attack, Adamant Nature, and the ability is gonna be Guts. So the reason why we have Flame Orb is because Flame Orb will burn the Ursaluna, but this will trigger Guts, and instead of lowering our attack, we actually get an attack boost, and we can't be affected by any other status effects as long as we're status. But that's going to be really huge. So pretty much turn 1, you just hit Belly Drum, and then you have the move Facade. Because you are burned, Facade is actually going to be doing 140 damage base. And you have the Guts boost on top of that, and your +6 attack with Belly Drum. So you just start sweeping left and right. Now, if something's weak to ground, you just use Headlong Rush, which is a ground type close combat. Really good move, incredible stab, hopefully super effective in the situation you use it. Absolutely great move. And the last move is going to be Drain Punch, just in case for a longer fight in a solo you might need sustain. Then Drain Punch might be worth using, but you can pretty much pick what you want in this last slot. The only necessary ones is Belly Drum, Facade, and Headlong Rush. Now, the other king is going to be Iron Hands, and I would actually recommend having 2 different Iron Hands here. One that is TERA Fighting, and one that is going to be TERA Electric. And max HP, max attack, Adamant Nature is going to be the necessary loadout here. And for your fighting one, you're going to want to have Drain Punch, Swords Dance, Close Combat, and Belly Drum. So Drain Punch is your sustain move, Close Combat is your damaging nuke. Turn 1, you want to use Belly Drum so you can maximize your attack. However, if you're in a raid where they do too much damage in the beginning, you can just use Swords Dance instead. For your item, I would recommend either Citrus Berry or Life Orb or Booster Energy. All 3 of those are great. Citrus Berry is more defensive because when you use Belly Drum, you get your HP back. Booster Energy is going to do more damage for you. Same with Life Orb as well. Life Orb does the exact same as Booster Energy. However, Booster Energy's animation makes it slightly slower. So I don't know if you would care about that. But, you know, in general, Citrus Berry or Booster Energy is what you want to use on this Pokemon in general. Always going to be great. And, of course, if you're going to do it as an electric type, you want to have Thunder Punch instead of Close Combat, or you could have Wild Charge. The issue with Wild Charge is when you use it, you'll probably knock yourself out. So that's going to be like a Hail Mary move, but you definitely want to have both of these. Now, next up is Ogerpon, and this Pokemon is absolutely insanely cracked. I would say Ogerpon is the best grass, water, fire, and rock attacker in the game because of the whole mass mechanic. And for the grass one, this was going to be Scope Lens as his held item. The other ones will have a held item based on the mass they're holding, and the mass does give them a 20% damage boost to all their moves, so it's still a phenomenal item by itself. Now, all of them are going to be max HP, max attack, adamant nature. Defiant is the ability of the grass one, just like in Annihilate. Whenever the opponent lowers one of your stats, you get +2 to air attack, which is pretty crazy. And the reason why this Pokemon is so good is because of Ivy Crudgel. So based on the mask you're wearing, this will change type. So the grass one is going to be grass, fire one's fire, water one's water, rock one's going to be rock. And it's a base 100% accurate move with a high crit chance. So for the grass one, because you have your item slot open, you want to have Scope Lens, and then you have Focus Energy, and then you have Ivy Crudgel, and that is going to be a 100% chance of critting every single time, because critical hits work on 3 stages, and you're going to be at +3 on crit, which is a 100% guarantee on crit. So pretty much what you want to do to set up with this is you can set up a Swords Dance turn 1, or you can set up a Focus Energy, up to you. Or you could do Swords Dance and Focus Energy and Ivy Crudgel, and it's just absolutely crazy damage. And then Horn Leech, because it's stab, like it's essentially grass type Drain Punch. So just use Horn Leech, get your HP back. Now for the other variants of Ogerpon, they're all great. I would say the fire one is definitely the best out of the other 3 ones, maybe even the best overall. Same thing, max HP, max attack. You don't have Define, you have Mold Breaker, which is actually pretty cool because you ignore the raid boss's ability, which can be incredibly helpful. Because we have our item slot taken, you can actually replace Focus Energy with Sunny Day for the fire one. You can have Rain Dance for the water one, and I would actually keep Focus Energy for the rock one because there really isn't another good move I would put here. But you can still keep Focus Energy because Ivy Crudgel plus Focus Energy is a 50% chance of critting, so that is another great opportunity. I will say the fire one, when it does TERA, you will get +1 attack on TERA. So that is why the fire one has a big advantage over the grass one. However, the grass one does get Scope Lens. So I say those 2 are definitely the best for rating, but all 4 of them are going to be phenomenal. So just mess around with the mass, and you only need to have one of these in all reality. Now, another great attacker is going to be Koraidon. I would make Koraidon a TERA fighting Pokemon. Absolutely great Pokemon. We're going to be running it with Shell Bell. Max HP, max attack. Orichalcum Pulse is the ability. So it sets up the sun, but the thing is it also boosts your attack stat as well, which is really good. And the main reason why we use this Pokemon is because you have Swords Dance and you have Screech, and then your signature attack is Collision Course, which, because if you're using it in a super effective situation, this damage actually is 133 instead of 100, which is actually pretty huge. So it does more damage in close combat. And then you have Drain Punch for sustain, but you Collision Course with Shell Bell will give you enough HP back, so you can just set up a Swords Dance or set up some Screeches, then spam Collision Course, and then TERA fighting, then you'll be good to go. Now for our last physical attacker I recommend, it's going to be a Azumarill. I would actually recommend 2 Azumarills, a TERA Fairy and a TERA Water one. And Citrus Berry works great here. You can also have Life Orb as your item as well. The ability needs to be huge power. It doubles your attack stat. So that's going to do a lot. I mean, doubling this attack stat, we're looking at like over 400 here. It's going to be pretty crazy, like 400 and almost 50. And with Adamant Nature, of course. Belly Drum, so Belly Drum turn 1, and then you just either use Play Rough or Liquidation based on what your TERA type is going to be. Another decent move is Tickle. Tickle lowers the attack and defense stat of the opponent, so that can actually be pretty decent as a support move, but you can put whatever else you want here in that last slot. Now for special attackers, and Miraidon is an absolutely incredible Pokemon, and I recommend running this as TERA Electric with Life Orb. Max HP, max special attack, modest nature. Its ability is actually better than Koraidon's, because Koraidon can't really use the sun to its advantage too much, but Miraidon gets a crazy boost because 1, special attack goes up, electric terrain also further boosts the damage of electric moves, so that's really good. And we also have 1 Electro Drift. This is going to do 133 damage if it's a super effective hit, so that's great. But then is also electric terrain boosted as well. On top of that, Parabolic Charge is just a special attacking Drain Punch, but once again, is going to be getting that electric terrain boost on top of that as well. So this does a lot of damage and gets your HP back. We have the move Charge, which is great. This doubles the damage of your next electric type move, and it also increases your special defense by 1. So that's actually pretty nice for that bulk. And you have Metal Sound, which lowers the target's special defense by 2. So yeah, Miraidon's actually crazy cracked. It's way better than Koraidon and for raiding for sure. Now, if you don't have Miraidon, Belly Bolt is a great substitute here. It's actually very underrated in the raid scene. So go TERA Electric of Life Orb, max HP, max special attack, modest nature, and its ability is awesome. Whenever it gets hit, its next attack will double the damage of an electric type move. And because Belly Bolt's very slow, you're always going to be getting hit, and then you're going to get your attack off at the end of the turn. So essentially, all your electric moves are doubled in damage, which is crazy. Now, some really good moves on this guy. Electric Terrain, of course, that's a great damage boost. You have Acid Spray, which goes through shields, so you can lower this target's special defense by 2 through shields. You have HP Sustain with Parabolic Charge, and then for a Tactical Nuke, you have Thunderbolt. So I'll probably recommend this. Set up electric terrain, or set up some acid sprays first and then electric terrain and then parabolic charge, or just charge whenever you need to get that HP up. And then yeah, you can solo pretty much most things with this. Actually, I feel like it's very underrated. Now, another great option is Iron Moth. Iron Moth with Shell Bell. This thing is great because Fire Poison, Quad Resist Fairy, so it's an ultimate fairy killer for the most part. And you can run as Terra Poison or Terra Fire, up to you. You can go max HP, max special attack, modest nature. Unfortunately, his ability is not that great unless you have someone with electric terrain. But it does have Acid Spray, which is going to help lower the special defense through shields. Fiery Dance has a good chance of increasing your special attack. So if they are weak to fire, this is going to be a great way for you to do damage and set up. And your tactical nukes are going to be Sludge Wave and Overheat on this Pokemon. Iron Moth has an insane special attack stat. It's like 140, so highly recommend using this. And it just has great offensive typing, and it's the ultimate fairy killer. Next is Goldingo, and this Pokemon is crazy good. I would run this as Terra Steel and not Terra Ghost. And with the item Shell Bell, but you can also do Life Orb as well. And this Pokemon's crazy. Max HP, max special attack, modest nature. Its ability breaks a lot of the AI in the game for raiding. Essentially, you are granted immunity to other Pokemon status moves. So a lot of the AI will try to status you, and they'll keep on doing it because they don't recognize abilities for some reason like this. So it just completely breaks it. Now, you have Nasty Plot to set up. You have Make It Metal Sound to lower the special defense. And then your signature attack is Make It Rain, which is great. A 120 special attack steel move that doesn't miss. It does lower special attack by 1, but that's incredible. And if you even need more damage, you have the option of Steel Beam, which is a 140 damage steel type attack. And it's a 95 accuracy move, which is actually incredibly good. So this Pokemon is absolutely cracked. If you like pair this up with Raid Cat, Berserker, with Steely Spirit, 3 Steely Spirit Raid Cats, they all use Fake Tears, and then you just hit a Make It Rain or Steel Beam with like a Choice Specs, or this turn 2 you use like a Nasty Plot and then hit like a Make It Rain with Life Orb. You pretty much kill a lot of things. If something's weak to Steel, Goldingo can definitely defeat it, and like I said, his ability is crazy good. Now for Arceus, and this Pokemon's crazy because he can be any type. Based on whatever plate he's holding, he changes to that type. So Arceus is like one of the best raiders in general just because of that. And I will say you want to change your Terra based on what type Arceus is. So like mine's a fighting one, so Terra fighting is just makes the most sense here. And we're gonna go max HP, max special attack, modest nature. And Arceus is really good because, one, you have setup move of Calm Mind, so increasing your damage there. Acid Spray lowers the special defense, which is great, and goes through shields. You have recovery moves with Recover here, so you don't have to waste your cheers on healing. And you have Judgment. Now, Judgment will change its type to whatever type Arceus is. So we have a Fist Plate. This is going to be a 100 damage, 100 accuracy special fighting type move, which is great because there's not a lot of great special fighting type attackers in general. So make your Arceus to fill in the holes on your raid team. And if you get multiple Arceus, then just have them be as many different types as possible. And I mean, if you have 17 Arceus, then that's good because you don't really need a normal one, to be fair. So 17 different types for Arceus, and yeah, that's going to be covering pretty much all your special attacking needs if you want to go down that route. Now we have Magearna. Magearna is crazy. Steel Fairy, this thing is nutty typing wise. It's max HP, max special attack, modest nature. In solos, this Pokemon is nutty. It's cracked. Soul Heart boosts this Pokemon special attack stat every time another Pokemon faints. So when your allies, your raid AI partners are fainting, you're just getting free special attack boosts. And it actually makes this Pokemon probably the best stored power user. Now, if you want to do a stored power set, you would run Calm Mind, you would run like Gear Shift, and you could run like Iron Defense, and then you just spam stored power like TERA Psychic, and you just win the game. Now, if you want to use it in a more conventional way, like this build, you can have like Draining Kiss as your sustain, great move. You have Calm Mind, that's going to boost your special attack and special defense. Floor Cannon is going to be your absolute nuke. It lowers your special attack by 2, but this is so good of an attack. And of course, you can replace stored power with like something like an Iron Defense is another good move, but you have a lot of great options in general on Magearna. Don't sleep on this Pokemon, especially in solos. This Pokemon is pretty damn cracked. And you can run this with Terra Steel or Terra Fairy, of course. You do get like Steel Beam and Flash Cannon as other options too. And our last special attacker is going to be Manaphy. Now, Manaphy, we're going to be running Terra Water or Shell Bell, and this Pokemon's crazy. So it does have base 100 around the board, but it's still very good because of the move set. So max HP, max special attack, modest nature, and you could set up the rain to use hydration. It'll cure any status effects it has, but that's not necessary. Now, the reason why it's so good is because Tail Glow, instead of Nasty Plot, has Tail Glow, so it increases, instead of +2, gets +3 to special attack. So it's 1 turn faster to get to max special attack with Tail Glow, and you have Fake Tear support on one Pokemon. So this is already a recipe for success right here. And you have the move Take Heart. Take Heart will remove any status effects on you and give you a +1 special attack and +1 special defense. So this is like a refresh plus Calm Mind in one move. Absolutely crazy. And then you can just run Surf as your main damaging move. It's the best water type move you get that has 100 accuracy. And yeah, Manaphy's just absolutely cracked for sure. And now for supporters, and Mew is probably the top tier supporter because of its absolute crazy move set. Now, for supporters, they don't necessarily need to run Shell Bell. Some good options could be like Covert Cloak, Light Clay, all depends on what you want. Like Wide Lens is another good option as well. So for a support Mew, you can either run max HP, max defense, or max HP, max special defense, and that can be set for nearly all of these supporters as well. And the reason why Mew's so good is because it gets every TM in the game. So a moveset I really like to run is Pollen Puff. Pollen Puff allows you to heal your ally by 50%, is very good. You could use Life Dew here, but Pollen Puff is faster and is a better heal. So I just recommend this over Life Dew in my personal opinion. Chilling Water goes through shields, lowers the special attack or physical attack by 1, which is great. Acid Spray lowers the target's special defense by 2 and goes through shields. And Mud Slap goes through shields and lowers the target's accuracy. And do not sleep on Mud Slap. This move is crazy good and can save your allies' life, especially when you start stacking these. This gets crazy. But of course, you get all the TM, so you get screens with this as well. The only thing Mew cannot do well is lower physical defense. That is the biggest problem with this Pokemon by far, but I would recommend building a couple Mews if you have the opportunity. Now, our next one is going to be Umbreon. Umbreon is probably the best supporter generalist. This thing just does everything really well. It has really good typing with Mono Dark, and yeah, I just love it. We're going to give it a Wide Lens because it has Screech. Now, Screech is a great way to lower physical attack. It's the best move to lower physical attack, but it's not 100% accurate. Now, if you do have Wide Lens, Screech becomes a 94% accurate move, and that's good enough for me. Now, for Umbreon, you can either build max HP, max special defense, or max HP, max defense, or a split. And the moveset on this guy is great. Screech and Fake Tears on the same Pokemon is always wonderful. Your damaging move is going to be Snarl, which will lower special attack, and because you have Wide Lens, Snarl won't miss either. You also have Helping Hand, which is great too. You get screens as well on Umbreon. You get Charm. You get a lot. You get Confuse Ray. There's a lot of great stuff you get on Umbreon. So yeah, I would highly recommend this. Thunder Wave, Taunt, Skill Swap. I don't know. This Pokemon does everything. So I recommend it. This Pokemon's awesome. Everyone should definitely have an Umbreon. Now, another fantastic Pokemon is Grimmsnarl. And we're going to give Grimmsnarl Light Clay because it has the ability Prankster. Now, it gives priority to Pokemon status moves. So you can set up your screens to no matter what, first thing in the raid, and you'll give yourself, like, and your whole team a 5-turn buff. Now, if you have Light Clay, that screen lasts for 8 turns instead of 5, which is phenomenal. Now, once again, max HP, either max defense or special defense. You probably want both on this guy. Same with Umbreon. And you have both Reflect and Light Screen. You have a signature move called Spirit Break, which is better than Snarl, and it's a fairy type move, so that's great. And it does more damage. It goes through shields, lower to special attack. You also have Fake Tears, which is great. You can have Thunder Wave support, and you just have a bunch of other great status moves. But yeah, Grimmsnarl is like a premier screener, but also of lowering a special attack and special defense. And I highly recommend building this. Now, Corviknight is really overlooked in my opinion, but this Pokemon is a phenomenal supporter, and we're going to give it Wide Lens, max HP, max defense. You could do max special defense instead of defense as well. Its ability Mirror Armor is actually great because you face an opponent who is just constantly lowering your stats. Mirror Armor will actually reflect those stats back onto the opponent. So if they lower defense, well, your defense didn't get lowered, but their defense got lowered. And that's absolutely phenomenal in a raid. So you're like debuffing them just by getting hit, and that's awesome. Now, another reason why I love this Pokemon is you get Screech and you get Fake Tears. I love it. You also have Taunt, and you have some other fun stuff. You do have, I believe you have a Light Screen, which is great. You get all the weather moves as well, like Sunny Day and Rain Dance. I mean, you can even use this as an attacker with like a bulk up set. You get both screens as well. There's an absolutely phenomenal Pokemon in general that is definitely slept on a bit. So I think everyone should build a Corviknight. Next up is Blissey, and this Pokemon is absolutely a beast if the opponent you're facing only has special attacking moves. I like the item Covert Cloak on Blissey especially, just because it doesn't distract it from like any status effects that could come off like random moves. So max HP, max defense, or you can max special defense, up to you. But like I said, if you're facing a special attacker only, then max special defense will give you better. But if you're just bringing this to a raid, not sure what they have, then definitely have max defense and max HP. But look at that HP stat, absolutely crazy. And Healer is a great ability. Sometimes your allies will just get their status effects healed just immediately. So that's great too. Your moveset, Charm, just lowering that physical attack is great. Helping Hand to help assist your teammates do more damage. Heal Pulse or Life Dew can go in this slot. And Light Screen just to put up some screens here to help out everyone's special defense. You also have Skill Swap, which is pretty solid as well. I mean, you could use Sing. You do have Tail Whip, which is an interesting option as well. But overall, Blissey, really strong, just really buff, and does not die as a Pokemon. Now, one of my favorite, if not my favorite support Pokemon, is Alolan Muck. And whatever I say about Alolan Muck pretty much applies also to a regular Muck, but I just love Alolan Muck so much. And we're going to be giving it Wide Lens. Now, we're going to go max HP, max special defense, but you can also go max HP and max physical defense. And it doesn't really matter what your ability is on it, personally. So you have Acid Spray and Screech. So this is the godlike combo. This is the ultimate combo for lowering stuff. You're just great no matter what. You also have Helping Hand, so you can actually assist your allies in doing more damage, and you're going to be spamming Snarl to lower that special attack, which is great. But Alolan Muck also has Mud Slap. So we can be Mud Slapping left and right, lowering all of that accuracy, which is absolutely phenomenal. You can also set up the Sun and the Rain too, which is incredibly helpful as well. This Pokemon is just overall fantastic. Like I said, if a Pokemon has Acid Spray and Screech, it automatically becomes one of my favorite options in general. And now for our last support Pokemon, we're going to go Cresselia. You can run Crest with like Covert Cloak. That's a good option as well because you're not going to really be doing big damage. The thing about Cresselia is you sort of don't die. You're sort of just really bulky on both sides. You know, max HP, max special defense, or max HP, max defense. And the cool thing about Crest is, one, you do have both screens, which is awesome. But you have the move Lunar Blessing. Lunar Blessing heals all your allies up by 25%. And it removes their status effects, which is absolutely phenomenal. You also have Helping Hand to boost your allies' attack, and you have Mud Slap, which is absolutely phenomenal, lowering that accuracy, making it so no one needs to get hit, and you just won't die. Pretty much, you just will not die with this Pokemon. And there we have it, guys. Those are all the Pokemon I recommend that you should build for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Teal Mass Update for the raid meta. If you have all of these Pokemon, you pretty much can conquer nearly any raid, and a lot of these can be applied with slight adjustments to 7-star raids as well. And of course, guys, let me know in the comment section below, what builds do you want to build, or what builds have you found success with? And of course, guys, leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and have a good one.